Hey guys, Zavik0 have a match against thomasd2199. I'll post a link to his channel in the description. This is, I think, my 55th battle using my OU team again. So he goes for the taunt. I probably should have seen that coming because he has Prankster. I just don't come across a whole lot of Sableye, so it didn't occur to me. Then he goes for Sunny Day, not entirely sure why. He goes for a Sucker Punch on Blastoise. I just go for the Yawn to force a switch, because I know I'll switch at that point. So I can switch back out to Deoxys and finally start with Thunder Wave and getting some hazards in. He goes to Scrafty. I hit it with a Thunder Wave. Start laying down the hazards at this point. I go for Stealth Rock first. He hits Deoxys with a Crunch. Does a good amount of damage. The Sunlight fades. And then I store a little HP, go for the Spikes just to get as many layers as I can out. He gets Parahaxed. So I go for another layer of Spikes next. And he actually withdraws Scrafty, which means I'll probably get to put in a third layer, which is really good. So then I go for another Spikes, and then so now it's Deoxys on Deoxys. His is a little faster. He goes for the Reflect just to get some barriers up. I go for a Thunder Wave because I figure he's not going to be able to take me out, and I might as well paralyze as much of his team as I can. So then I go into Blastoise, and he gets Parahaxed, which is nice. And he gets Parahaxed again, so I hit it with a Dragon Tail just to move his team around, get some hazard damage in. He goes for the Sucker Punch on Blastoise, which does a good amount of damage because of his Dark Gem, but I just go for another Dragon Tail, because as long as he keeps letting me do it, or I get Parahax, I can keep knocking his team around, which is the point of this team. And I get pretty lucky and he gets Parahaxed again, but then he avoids the next Dragon Tail, so it didn't really mean that much. He goes for Stealth Rock to get his hazard out. I Dragon Landorus. He goes for the Outrage on Blastoise. I go for a Waterfall. Doesn't do a whole lot because he has high defense, and I'm pretty sure Reflect is still out there lowering the damage. He gets confused after 2 Outrages, but is cured with the Lumberry. Yeah, so now the Reflect wears off, but that affected Waterfall a little bit. I go into Weavile. I go for a Fake Out because I was actually predicting him to switch. But once I figure out he's not going to switch, I just go for the Ice Punch to finish it off. Because Landorus can be huge pains in the asses when left untouched, so I figured I'd want to get that out of there as soon as possible. He goes into Scrafty, which is paralyzed. I didn't have a whole lot of good things to switch out into, so I decided to keep it out there. For some reason, he goes for a Crunch. He was probably predicting me to switch, and my lack of good things to switch into just kind of actually worked out in the end, which is really weird. I guess he was predicting me to switch in Deoxys. He gets a boost with Moxie. I send in Flower Power, which, despite the name, is a complete badass. So I go for the Giga Drain, almost get all my HP back. Then he goes into Donphan. Not entirely sure why. I guess he thought Ice Shard would do more, possibly. Then I just go for the Giga Drain because I figured he'd Ice Shard and it wouldn't do a whole lot, and I could probably make back most of that HP with a Giga Drain, and I make back all of it, which is really nice. Then he goes into Shaman. Get some hazard damage in on that. I decided to take back Flower Power, head on out to Hydreigon. He uses Air Cutter on Hydreigon, and then he switches out to Deoxys. Deoxys almost gets killed by the hazards, but doesn't. Then I just go for a Flamethrower, which will work on all 3 of his last team members, including Rape Face. So Flamethrower takes down Sableye and then Shaman. So that's the battle, guys. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna try and upload a Minecraft video soon, actually. So keep an eye out for that. Comment, subscribe, like if you feel it, and yeah, see you next time.